Hey guys, welcome to Jaedong versus Effort, the second set of Pro League Oz versus CJ Entus epic matchup. First of all, CJ Entus, big match for the Pro League Playoffs, going to be playing on Neo Medusa. Jaedong recently lost to Effort in GOM, and this might, possibly without any spoilers, could be a marquee matchup in the MSL as well. Jaedong, an extremely good Zerg versus Zerg player. Effort almost there. The question is he's toppled him once, can he do it again?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this a lot. Jaedong, in a way I feel bad for him. I kind of am worried for him in the way that I worried for Flash, and unfortunately that's a kick-ass drawing to be said. The way I worried for Flash, in that he was playing just too much StarCraft, and that was his undoing. Luckily for Jaedong now, the season is winding down, and he's not being relied on as much. There isn't as much Pro League going on, but he's still busy in the OSL and the MSL. He's got so much practicing to do, and you know, it just makes me worry for him because I really want to see a player actually dominate the scene. It's fun when you have someone dominating the scene and people challenging them down. Whenever there's a player who's dominant, I always enjoy it. So yeah, I'm a little worried for Jaedong and the kind of practice he's going to have had prepared for this, although he has a Zerg versus Zero that he played recently in the OSL, so he should be in good shape for it, but Effort is a whole different level of challenge altogether.
Yeah, previously Jaedong has just been known for, you know, having ridiculous Zerg versus Zerg, basically unbeatable Zerg versus Zerg, and the fact that Effort not just beat him, 2-0'd Jaedong in the GOM TV Avertech Intel Classic is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I never thought anyone could ever beat Jaedong in a best of, in a ZVZ. Like, people take a game off him here and there in the Pro League, but I never thought that anyone would actually be able to take a series off of him. Effort not only took a series off him, but then also went on to dominate Zergs in the Pro League Playoffs and CJ versus Khan. And he beat Great, who is a very, very good Zerg player for Khan twice in a row, such that they had to send out Stork to play on Outsider, which is a Zerg map. Anyway, so Effort showing some really, really good ZVZ lately, but you know, it's still I'm still going to favor Jaedong. I think he's going to get back into it and get some revenge here on Effort. That's my opinion, at least. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go down, but Jaedong is just ridiculous Zerg versus Zerg, and Effort's good, but he's not that good. And Jaedong's beaten Effort before as well in the Pro League, so I don't know. It's going to be close though. One way or another, this is going to be the closest ZVZ Jaedong's played in since Oversky beat him, I think.
Yeah, it's really hard to not favor Jaedong when you're in any matchup, I feel, just because he's been such a dominant player for such a long time, and he's been so consistently dominant. Not only, I don't think he's really slumped. The slump for him is losing 3 games in a row, or not taking 7 out of 10, I guess. People are like, oh, he's slumping. He's not winning every single game, 100%. So for singing purposes, by the way, 3, 2, 1, 0. This is going to be on Neo Medusa, so kind of varies things up for Zerg versus Zerg. First of all, you do not have your ramp to defend against early Zerglings, so Zergling pressure can be a lot stronger than usual. Additionally, it is a 3-player map, so there is possibility of some creativity, although again without a ramp I'm going to assume not, because that's the nice thing about having a ramp is sometimes you can go to the 12 hatch and then you can cancel it and go back to the protective cover. Without a ramp, it's extremely risky for going for any sort of economic build in that regard. But we'll see without that, well, basically who has the better Zergling micro, I guess, in the early game, who can sneak. I really feel like a lot of Neo Medusa games come down to one player just able to sneak a couple Zerglings through, able to pick off that one drone, even though they end up with usually fewer Zerglings as a result. They end up just ahead in the game, that slight advantage going to Mutalisk, and basically the slight advantage through the mid game, which is essentially the end game for Zerg.
Yeah, I was actually daydreaming when they put the colors up, but thankfully they put them up again, and it looks like Effort is in red at the 2 o'clock position, and Jaedong, look for that 9 pool, at the 11 o'clock position in green, and Effort is starting up his Overlord here, so this could be huge. If he decides to go for something ridiculous, like even a 12 pool, he could potentially be in trouble on a 3-player map, especially since Jaedong is scouting in the right direction and Effort is scouting in the wrong direction. You know, when you're playing against Jaedong in Zerg vs Zerg, you need every little advantage. You want to have the build order advantage, you want to have a scouting advantage, but it looks like potentially Jaedong could have both the build order and the scouting advantage, and that would be huge. and he's looking at an absolutely lethal frame of mind, lethal countenance covering his face, and CJ Effort could find himself in a little bit of trouble here, especially since he's not going to scout that 9 pool potentially till very late. He's now putting his spawning pool down, so at least he's not gone for, I think he's gone for, so at least he's not gone for a 12 hatch, but I think even a 12 pool could potentially leave him vulnerable here.
It might, I guess. 12 pool generally it would be a build order advantage, I guess, over a 9 pool. It means that the time that it takes for Jaedong, he's going to have his pool out a little bit later, but with the time it takes for Jaedong's Zerglings to get over to his base, he's going to be able to make an equal amount of Zerglings, and so he's going to be evenly matched in army, but yet he still has a couple extra drones from going a little bit later. So technically, just by general rule of thumb, Effort actually has the advantage here over Jaedong as far as build order goes, but we've seen Jaedong come back from horrendous build order disadvantages to win, and actually Effort has put down an expansion, and Jaedong is unfortunately sending his lings the wrong direction, I think. He may realize it now and is diverting them. Yeah, now he's diverting over there. So Effort's put down that expansion. It's going to be in danger because he's going to have to now protect 2 positions at once as a result of not putting that down before. And here comes Jaedong Zerglings coming in now. Effort's going to have to try and fend him off with drones as his Zerglings come out. And he's just going to, he needs to make sure he doesn't lose that hatchery though, or at least cancels it if he's going to. And here comes in with drones and Zerglings coming in. And actually Jaedong hitting those Zerglings pretty easily, doing a lot more damage. And Jaedong concentrating on Effort's Zerglings and doing a lot more damage. Jaedong has not lost a Zergling yet, and Effort has lost 4, and this is why Jaedong can come back from a build order disadvantage, because his micro is just superior.
Unbelievable. Wow. So 6 Zerglings were out in the field, and just between positioning and despite the fact drones were hammering away at that, Jaedong is still able to put the pressure. He's able to hammer away at that hatchery, and it looks like he is going to be able to take it down before Effort's really able to fend that off. It's just a sliver of help. At the very least, he's going to be able to get some drone kills here, which will definitely help out that 12 pool disadvantage. Now, yeah, wow. Unbelievable. Huge advantage of Zerglings. You can see the concentration on his face. Takes the hatchery out. And between the drone mining time, the additional Zerglings on the ground, and the fact he's got a Spire going, it looks like Jaedong is going to run away with this match. And I think part of the issue there is I think he had speed Zerglings out, which just makes them smarter and better units for about 10-15 seconds before Effort did. But even then, Effort just got mauled after that, and he's continuing to get mauled.
Wow.
Just absolutely, wow. You can tell Jaedong was pissed in this match, and this is an absolute running over. 3 drones left on the line. Spire's already halfway done. And more Zerglings flooding in, and Effort still has nothing. He has 1 Zergling and 3 drones. Sorry, now 3 Zerglings and 3 drones. Jaedong is just showing what a beast he is, Zerg versus Zerg here.
Yeah, and Effort GG's. Effort GG's.
Wow.
Moltrap was, and wow, he's pumped. He's really excited to lay down the ponage there. But, Moltrap, you're right in that 12 pool should in theory be a stronger build versus 9 pool, but on a map like Neo Medusa, I think 9 pool is stronger because, especially if you commit to the 9 pool, if you commit to the Zerglings and you do what Jaedong did, which is get Zergling speed, because then you're gonna have that Zergling speed up faster than your opponent, especially if your opponent is trying to translate into lair, and I think that's what Jaedong did, and Effort really had no chance there versus Jaedong, even though Jaedong's micro was brilliant.
Yeah, the Zergling speed really is the key. If he hadn't gotten the speed, I think he would have Effort would have been able to win out in the long run with a little bit superior production. But yeah, the Zergling speed did give him that edge, and also just the superior micro there. And I think Jaedong's got to be happy. He just said in a very very emphatic way that was a fluke. The GOM Classic was a fluke, and I just pwned the hell out of you to prove it. And yeah, and you're right, it is a smaller map too, so the Zerglings had less distance to go. And fortunately, he did figure out which direction to go with his Zerglings before too long. As Overlord got to the expansion, I think he diverted his Zerglings when he realized it. I don't know. But anyways, there's...
Got the main.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And there's CJ Savior talking with Effort, discussing what happened in the match, and Savior's like, yeah, you got pwned. He's like, yeah, I got pwned.
Oh man, that is insane. I'm kind of looking at the replay of the Zerglings surrounding the drones and everything, and it's just absolutely incredible. The Zergling positioning, first of all, that's what a lot of that was troop positioning. And additionally, I think there was about 3 seconds towards the end of just the Zergling on Zergling battle where speed had kicked in, which just bumps up the AI for Jaedong Zerglings versus Effort Zerglings, which look like they're having a little bit of trouble positioning. And actually, it looked like they were getting bumped back by their own drones and therefore not attacking for about couple seconds there, and that is the difference in the match. But I have to say, this was, I would say, Effort, at least in the league, was maybe the closest player to showing really strong ZVZ, or I should say the second strongest ZVZ player, and to just see the gap in Zerg versus Zerg play between Jaedong and between Effort, it's just a big eye-opener, I have to say, altogether. And it's a big statement not just for this playoff series. I think it's a big statement for the MSL, and it's a big statement for StarCraft in general.
But that's what, that's why it's surprising. That's why I think when people hear Jaedong's lost a game, they go slump, slump, slump. Because when you watch StarCraft played like that, you have to wonder, how the hell does he lose a game of StarCraft? Especially Zerg versus Zerg, or even Zerg versus Terran. So, yeah, so no wonder there's shock and awe anytime Jaedong loses a game of StarCraft. But nonetheless, great play by Jaedong, and yeah, I feel that he just had everything going for him in that round.
Yeah, and just real quick, watching the replay here again, this is one of the reasons that he is so great in this kind of a matchup, is because every spare moment that his Zerglings are not in battle, they're attacking that hatchery, and not many Zergs are that aggressive, so just goes to show you. Anyway, that was a great game. Jaedong proving his dominance, I think, overcoming the doubts of the previous series. GG, thanks for watching.